Welcome to Real Talk, Real Wellness with Alicia. I'm Alicia, a women's holistic wellness practitioner, and this podcast is where we get real. No fluff, no filters about what it truly takes to feel well, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Let's dive in. Okay, ladies. Today I want to talk about community. Okay, and the importance of it. When I think about women and wellness, I can't separate it from community. We are the community. We, the women, the children, are the community, and there's something quite powerful that happens when women gather collectively. It's more than conversation and chit chat, even though that's part of it. It's more than sharing space. It creates a current, an energy that shifts the way we feel, the way we heal. Science actually backs this up. You may have heard of the fight or flight response, or flight or fight. I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. The fight or flight, we'll call it. Yeah. But for women, there's another stress response, the tend and befriend. So instead of withdrawing or pushing through alone, we reach for another. You know, we talk, we nurture, we gather. And studies show that when women connect this way, the body responds. Cortisol drops, the immune system strengthens, the heart is protected. In fact, women with strong, authentic friendships are at a much lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Now, that's more than friendship. That is medicine. Okay? And this truth is written all over. This truth is written in cultures all across the world. Growing up, I watched my mum take part in something called the susu, or susu, or partner, or as she would call it with her strong Jamaican accent, partner. And this was sort of like a rotating savings group. Each woman contributed money, and one woman took the pot each round. Okay, each woman would throw her money in the pot, and one woman would take the pot, and they would continue that, but each woman would still sort of throw her hand in, even if she had got the pot first. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Google it. On the surface of it, this was about finances, but at its core, it was about trust, accountability, and solidarity. If one woman struggled, the others held her down. So if one woman could not throw her hand that week, the others would pitch together to throw her hand for her. Okay? So they help to keep making this thing work. And this circle reminded me that women thriving was never meant to be a solo project. It also sort of reminds me of a event I went to many years ago. It was a women's workshop, and they had a speaker. And the speaker was the daughter of a prominent black leader. And after her father was assassinated, It was the women of the organization who her father belonged to who quietly gathered around her mother and her siblings, even when they were forbidden to. You know, they were told by the men in the organization to stay away, but these women said, no, we need to make sure she's good. Okay, we need to make sure that the children are okay. You know, it was about their presence as well. You know, just being there as a support. Now, for me, that's solidarity in action. You know, women were saying, you won't carry this alone. We are here. And then you've got, in the Caribbean again, you know, the ancient Taíno, the Arawak, this wisdom also holds true. Within those communities, women raise their children together like a pride of lions. And motherhood was never isolated. It was shared. The children belonged to the whole. And in that way, so did the responsibility, the joy, and the protection. In traditional healing systems echo this too. In Ayurveda, women are seen as the carriers of the ojas, your vital essence, your life force. And the ojas isn't only nourished by food or herbs, but by love, safety, and community. A supported woman glows bright, recovers faster, and passes strength forward for generations. In traditional Chinese medicine, balance is everything. Qi, blood, yin, yang, women's cycles are woven into this rhythm. That's why practices like postpartum confinement existed. I don't necessarily like the word confinement, but in this case it works. And the new mother was fed, warmed, massaged, cared for. She was mothered. She was nurtured. You know, it wasn't just about her healing. It's about ensuring the entire community thrives through her well-being. Even today, we see echoes of this in doulas. A doula by a woman's side in labor doesn't just ease the process of the physicalness of birthing. You know, she anchors her emotionally. She anchors the mother emotionally. She supports her and encourages her at this, what can be seen as a very vulnerable time in her life, but a very joyous one too, depending on her circumstances. So research also shows that doulas reduce interventions and shortens labor, improves outcomes, but more than numbers, it's that grounding presence that I am here for your safety. That is the most important thing. And then there's the wise woman tradition. Those elders in every culture who carried plant knowledge and deep listening. They weren't licensed in the modern sense, but they were true healers through presence, through herbs, through the kind of wisdom that only comes with time. All of this reminds us women heal best when they're not alone. But here's the key. Community only works when we show up for each other. My mother's susu would never have survived if women kept forgetting. Their contribution, commitment matters. Accountability is part of the care. So, let me ask you, who's in your circle? And Who holds you up? Who listens to you? Who supports you? And are you pouring back into them too? Because community breathes only when we all participate. And you know, women's circles are also where the joy happens. You might walk in feeling heavy and down, and by the end you've left with a recipe, a hair oil blend recipe, advice on your child's school, a good belly laugh. That's wellness too. Everyday medicine, that is. Okay, so let's look at some journal prompts. Where am I pushing beyond what feels good for my body and my mind right now? I'll repeat that. Where am I pushing beyond what feels good for my body and my mind right now? What is one weight I can set aside, set down, or share this week? What is one weight I can set aside, set down, or share this week? Give yourself an honest answer and let your body feel the relief of that choice. Meditate on it. Now, if this episode resonates with you, share it with another woman who might need this reminder. And if you're listening on a platform where you can leave a review or a comment, I would be so grateful if you did so. And also like, if you don't mind. Until next time, oneness, wholeness, and peace.